I think these YouTube music channels are great simply because it's a new thing you can tap into. They have great audiences, some of them. Pitching them is a craft in itself. I think the one thing that's going to make a world of difference is developing relationships with the people who run these channels. And they're typically very young kids between 15 and 20 who have just stuck to being very consistent with their channels. And with a little bit of effort, you'll be able to find a majority of them on Facebook or their personal email addresses. And I think if you were able to establish a relationship there and approach them not with a sense of, hey, can you support my song, but rather with, hey, how are you doing? What are you up to? Love the channel. Would love to hear your story, and then talk a little bit about yourself and really try and foster relationships that's founded on interest in the person and a long-term collaboration rather than on your self-interested wish for them to support your one song. I think that's at the core of successful pitching. And then from there, it's learn how to write a successful email pitch. Always start with, hey, first name, hey, Peter, hey, Paul, etc. How are you doing? Shortly summarize your music, 1 or 2 paragraphs, add a streaming link, a private SoundCloud link, add a download link in there. Do not use an attachment on the email, rather send a Dropbox or Google Drive link, and be very forthcoming and very specific about what you want. And don't send them bootlegs, don't send them unofficial remixes, don't send them mashups, because they need to have the rights to all the music they upload.
Right, definitely. Would you give the same sort of advice for those same artists pitching labels or other artists in terms of support?
Yes, this is 100% uniform. And there's a few other tips I'll give. I think number one is if you want to increase your odds of successful pitching is that you need to be very specific about your value add to them. For example, we are now in the process of pitching the Duct Tape album, and we're writing to written logs, and we might say, hey, hey Peter, hope you're well, explanation about the album. Then we might say, we'd love to get you involved in this release, potentially with a premiere of this track, pre-release, and then a feature plus an exclusive quote when the album comes out on this date. You could listen to the album here, download it here, let me know which tracks stand out to you. Thank you. It's very specific, right? There's no way if someone reads that email and wants to respond, he wouldn't know what to respond to. Yeah, and also the very proposition is very, very concrete. It's like, okay, they're going to get a premiere on a track plus a feature and an exclusive quote by the artist. That's very different than sending them an email and saying, hey, we have this album coming out, let me know what you think.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
That's not actionable. And another thing is you want to make sure that you email the right people for the right thing, right? So if you're emailing the editorial of hip hop at, I don't know, Billboard magazine for your next progressive house track, then don't be surprised they don't respond.
Yeah.
And if you have no prior relationships with a record label, for example, right, and they're very explicit about having a submission system. For example, for us, right, if you have no relationship with us, but you still send an email to me personally, and it's a demo, then I'm going to say, yeah, you should just submit via our demo system. Because we're very clear about we listen to everything.